We're going through cast member secrets, rumors, Disney secrets. Are these true? Are they not? Are they exaggerated? Hey, let's find out. We've been going through a bunch of Disney secrets from a website called The Perspective. 60 different things that are supposedly secret that you may not know about Disney and working at it and what it's like backstage. We've gotten 2/3 of the way through in 2 previous videos. This is the last one to cover the last 20. I hope you've had a lot of fun with them. I have. These have been really neat and learned a couple things, and then a couple things are just hilariously wrong. So we're going to go through the last 20 and find out just how true these are. This is where we left off in the last video, and if you haven't seen the first 2, go check them out. We are down to number 20. Stay smiling unless you're spooky. What if you're not a fan of smiling throughout the day? Well, they're still okay. This is actually true. They do tell you in traditions, you're practically required to smile and look happy. And in fact, the first few days on the job, my face actually hurt from smiling so much because you're supposed to do it all the time. Unless you work at, say, Tower of Terror or the Haunted Mansion. There may be 1 or 2 other places. But because of the atmosphere of those rides, those attractions, they're allowed to look more serious and scary and spooky. But generally, yep, you're supposed to be happy to be there. You're supposed to be happy to have the guests there. You're supposed to just be happy. Because I'm happy. Okay, anyways. Yeah. Yes, smile all the time. And if you're walking around like a sourpuss, you could end up with an early day. That did happen. Let's see, the big stars who made their start at Disney. Oh, there's a lot of stars who actually started at Disney. Before Steve Martin, this is the first one I was thinking of. Before Steve Martin was an award-winning actor, he started doing magic tricks and making balloons. He worked at the magic shop at Disneyland. That's where Steve Martin started. Michelle Pfeiffer worked as Alice at Disneyland. That doesn't surprise me. John Lasseter, sweep the streets of Tomorrowland. No, John Lasseter's famous as a Jungle Cruise skipper. He worked Jungle Cruise for quite a while. There's a lot of people that started at Disneyland, which is actually really cool. And that's actually kind of neat. That's actually Michelle Pfeiffer in that picture. But yeah, John Lasseter was Jungle Cruise skipper. Steve Martin at the Magic Shop, actually very well known. Be prepared to know absolutely everything. Okay, this is a common myth. Cast members are prohibited from telling any guest, I don't know. That's not true. Very simply not true. Now, what they are trained to say is, well, I'm not sure, but I will find out for you, or I will direct you to somebody who can find out for you. You are not expected to know everything. Now, everything about your particular job, yes. But if you are working as a merchandise member at the Magic Kingdom, you are not expected to know how Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom runs, the different worlds. You're not expected, or how much a hotel room is. You don't know that, but you find out. Well, here, let me make a couple phone calls and I'll find out for you. So you are allowed to not know, but you do learn to figure out what the answers are. So turn their brain into the holy grail of Disney knowledge. Not exactly. You can't know everything, and trying is a waste. But it is a good idea if you're going to work at one of the Disney parks, spend a full day before you work touring that park, finding out where the bathrooms are, the restaurants, what they serve, where the characters are, where the stores are, and get to know that park. So that way you can answer without having to ask somebody else. You are allowed sometimes to say, I don't know. That does happen. If there's an answer to be found, you're supposed to help find it, but you can say, I don't know. In a serious information emergency, there are secret phones that will connect cast members to a park operator. That's true. We also had this wonderful thing called a telecast. And the telecast was a little pocket deal that gave us a bunch of information too. So what are the perks of being a cast member? I've done videos about these. There are a lot of them. Have free or discounted entry to all Disney parks and resorts? Yep. Any Disney-owned theme park. So if you're working at Walt Disney World, you can get into Disneyland free. You cannot get into Disney Tokyo free because it's got a different ownership structure, but you can get in. So free tickets for you anytime. You have a limited number of tickets you can give family or friends. Very limited. Don't bug your cast member friends for free entry. Really, they don't have that many, and it's annoying. That's why I called it the best perk and the worst perk, and you can find that video as well. There's discounts on different things. There's a holiday special where you get a free picture and discounted meals in the parks. So yes, there are a lot of very nice perks that come with it. The most magical lost and found on Earth. Disney is great that if you lose something and you put in a claim, they are amazing at finding the things and getting it back to you. But you'd be surprised how many things don't get claimed. And some of the stuff they found, the number of strollers that are left there is ridiculously amazing. If you're a cast member, you have no need to go buy a brand new stroller. Go over to the cast connection area and property control is what they call it. You get lots of strollers. Part of that, though, is because the international visitors oftentimes find it cheaper and easier to come to the States without a stroller, buy one here, use it at the parks, and then just leave it when they go home. So they get lots of strollers. A glass eye, a prosthetic leg, yep. Not just once on those. Those have been several times. And lost and found. I have had friends buy full DSLR camera kits that people left behind and never claimed. It's pretty amazing. 210 pairs of sunglasses are lost on a daily basis. I think that's exaggerated a little bit. I would not be surprised if it's in the 50 to 100 range. 200, yeah, some of the stuff they donate a lot of it to charity, things like that. Yep, not the place to spread ashes. No, don't, please don't. The departed have a deep love for Disney, so let's go spread their ashes there. Often happens that at Haunted Mansion in particular, people try to sneak it onto the ride and then dump it out, and it'll stop the ride. They have to evacuate the ride. They have to clean the ride and sanitize it. Now, they don't just get vacuumed up and thrown in the trash. There is, because it's human remains, there is a specific method of cleaning it up. It looks like a vacuum cleaner. And they are disposed of humanely, but they are not left at Disney. They are taken and properly disposed of. Don't dump family members' ashes at the parks. Secret underground tunnels, the utilidors. I've done a couple videos about these, so I'll just say, go look for my video on the utilidors, and it'll talk all about that and cover that nice and easy for you, and that way we don't take forever. Yeah! 13, there's edible vegetation in Tomorrowland. Yep. This is a Walt thing from Disneyland originally, where the idea was that everything would be edible, and it's still there at Disneyland. I don't know about Walt Disney World for sure. I believe some of it's edible there. Don't go around picking the plants and eating them, okay? That's not the point. But it's meant to show you that in the future, everything will be properly taken care of, and so you can just grow your gardens and look pretty too. That's kind of what it was intended. Yeah, don't go eat the plants. Just don't. Certain special teacups. Oh. Hidden secret to this ride lies in the speed of certain cups. Nope. False. No. This is an ongoing long myth and rumor. They all have the same braking systems. They all are set up the same. They're the same deals. The only reason the cup is faster than the other one is because the people are spinning it harder and faster. So, no, this is not true. The rides don't work that way. You can't just make one faster than the others. That's not true. It drives me nuts. Undercover security guards are planted throughout the park. Yep. Very true. You can spot them sometimes because not all of them are the best. A lot of them are definitely, they look very touristy. But yes, they are around, in particular in the stores and around other trouble spots. They float in and out, and the idea is for them to blend in. But they are definitely there. I got to know a handful of them while I was there. And so I actually had this little deal that if they would walk by, I would do this little surreptitious hi. and they would never acknowledge me if there was any guests around because they weren't supposed to be noticed. In which case, if I really wanted to bother them, I treat them like another guest. Hey, how are you doing? It's good to have you at the park. Don't you want to get your photo pass picture? Now, I would never do that to a real guest. But the couple security guys I did it to would just start laughing. And all cast members remain in character. All cast members, not just characters, all cast members. In order to make the characters seem as real as possible, they never allow more than one out at the same time. That's because there's only one. There's only one Mickey. There's only one Snow White. There's only one Aurora. There's only one Cinderella. There's only one Donald. That's like asking if somebody's going to see two of you at the park. Of course not. Yes, Disney makes sure that that is very true. While small children are allowed to wear whatever costumes they please, adults are not allowed to enter the park dressed as a Disney character. This is true in a limited fashion. Now, there's what's called Disney bounding, where you wear an outfit inspired. But you are not allowed to do anything in a park that may detract from the experience of somebody else or cause confusion. So if you look like a Disney character and the guest is thinking, wait, is that really Snow White? They're not going to let you do it. So no costumes. The one exception is Mickey's Not So Scary or Boo to You in California. You can wear costumes then, but again, you can't look exactly like the character because they don't want confusion. And so if you look, say, my daughter's outfit that she wore at Boo to You, where she did Cruella de Vil. She's also done Tinkerbell. We did the whole crew from Peter Pan, where you could tell who we were, but at the same time, you knew that we weren't an official Disney character. So that's the difference. Costumes are not allowed on, I think it's 12 or 13 and up on a regular business day, and then only for adults during those special Halloween events. Yep, no confusion. Don't pretend to be a character. Related to that, I did watch a guy get removed from Magic Kingdom because not only did he look like Santa Claus, but he didn't correct guests. And he started to gather a crowd of kids that were going, oh, Santa! And he was playing up as if he was Santa on vacation. That's what got him in trouble. Not because he looked like Santa. Sometimes you can't help that. But he didn't tell the kids he wasn't Santa. Don't do that. California Adventure used to be a parking lot for Disneyland. Yeah, that is where the original parking lot was. That's not surprising. Disneyland had to expand somewhere, and Southern California is kind of hard to get land. That's basic park history. Okay. You're the master of this ride, the canoes. If you can get to them, most of the time they're not even open. Totally controlled by the user. There's no ride track. By the way, on the rafts that go to Tom Sawyer's Island, they're not on a track either. You don't control those. The cast member steering it does. If you really want to go get a workout and exhaust yourself, you can go do the canoes if they're open. But yeah, no ride track. Okay. I don't know. For me, I will say this is the one ride I don't think I've ever done at either of the parks. I did do the Mike Fink keel boats at Disneyland, but I never had any desire to go canoeing on that. A dish from Walt's life. Walt's personal favorite chili recipe. Yes, this is true. Absolutely. And I've had it. Walt loved chili. He loved hot dogs. He called them weenies. He was actually known for coming home and just having a straight hot dog. But yes, the chili recipe there is supposed to be Walt's favorite chili recipe. He loved his chili. That's true. Walt had a different vision for Epcot. Yep. Epcot was supposed to be a fully functioning city. They adapted and changed it into a theme park, inspired by it, but becoming a perpetual world fair. No, definitely not the same. You can actually see the model of Walt's Epcot if you ride the People Mover at Magic Kingdom. It's right as you go into Space Mountain. But no, very different things because it became pretty aware that practically speaking, Walt's version of Epcot was not going to be possible to build. Plus, it wasn't something that would attract people. So, nope, didn't happen. Secret games. Hidden locations and Easter eggs you can find at Disneyland Uh, okay, we already talked about the Cinderella suite. Uh, Matterhorn basketball court. This is actually a real picture of it. It's not even a half court. It's basically a break room area up at the top of the Matterhorn, and somebody stuck a basketball hoop up on the wall. That's all it is. This is another one that gets made a much bigger deal about than it is. It's not even half court size. I mean, the break room isn't much bigger than this room I'm in, which is like a 9 by 9. I think it's like a 14 by 15 space or something. So yeah, it's basically a hoop nailed to the wall and enough room for like 2 or 3 people to play. This is not the big, huge thing that people make it out to be. Details in the artwork. Be Our Guest restaurant. Not only will you have a chance to meet the Beast, feast your eyes on the painted mural on the ceiling. Yes, the Imagineers' faces are hidden in the mural at the top of Be Our Guest. This is true. It's actually really cool. So go check it out. I've got pictures of it for my trip. Yeah, it's neat. It's Imagineers do find ways to kind of leave their signature on things, and there's different ways they do it, and this is how they did it here. Let's see. Dinosaur Ride opened back in '98. Should have tried it back when it was open. It was too scary for visitors. I have no idea on this. I really don't know if they've made big changes to Dinosaur. I'm sure they've changed it over the years, but we love it now. I have no idea what it would have been like its first few years. So, better at Six Flags? No. Six Flags doesn't do theming anywhere near to that degree. Don't believe it. It wouldn't have been the first scary ride there. I mean, after all, you had Alien Encounter at Magic Kingdom. And yes, it got dumbed down to Stitch too, but difficult audition process. Uh, let's see, go through a rigorous process involves auditions, callbacks, and choreography. Yes, several stages. I've talked to a number of the people who do characters. What they do is they have open calls, and you go in to the open call, and they have you dance, animate, which basically means act like certain characters, and show your skills. And they'll have several people doing this all at once. They may not even tell you what characters they're casting for at that time. Apparently, the way it works is they can go, okay, you, and you, let's talk to you some more. The rest of you, thank you very much. See you later. And then those that get called back, they are the ones that actually get to audition for those parts, do the training, and see if they're going to be able to do it or not. So it is like 3 or 4 steps, and many never get past that first open call, the open audition, and they try over and over. I knew one person that they did open calls 8 times before they finally got pulled. And I had one friend that gave up after 7. So, yeah, it's a very complicated process because they want to do the best to make sure that those characters look, sound, and act just like it. And number 1, not your average merry-go-round. King Arthur's Carousel was one of the rides, one of the first rides to be opened at Disneyland. 68 unique horses on the King Arthur Carousel. One of them is dedicated to Julie Andrews. It was not originally. It was just a regular horse, but a special one named Jingles you don't want to miss. When Disney's 50th anniversary rolled around, they dedicated it to Julie Andrews. Jingles, it's an interesting story that the horse was just a horse on the carousel. It was a white horse, and it kind of took on a life of its own. And people began looking for this one specific horse. And so they kind of started maintaining that feeling about the horse. And then, yes, at the 50th anniversary, they dedicated it to Julie Andrews in honor of Mary Poppins, which was very cool. So, yes, Jingles is now an officially named carousel horse on there. So, yeah, neat little bit of history there with the parks. So that is a 3-part series on 60 things about cast members. Many true, a few not, and a few exaggerated. I hope you enjoyed this. Are there other things you want to know I didn't cover? Let me know in the description below, and I will do my best to answer. Thank you so much for commenting, for liking, for sharing, for subscribing if you haven't. What are you waiting for? Let's get those. I want to hit 30,000 subscribers this year. Will you help me do it? Thank you so much, too, for your feedback. For my financial supporters, my patrons, my YouTube members, They help me do things like this and video footage and visiting the parks and so much more. And there's so much they get back to. Some of my best friends in the world today have started out as financial supporters on Patreon. If you want to know more about that, be sure to check the description. Thank you so incredibly much for watching. God bless. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to know about contact information, fan pages, merchandise, and more, please be sure to check the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to know when I have new ones, well, make sure you hit that subscribe button right up there. And if you want to see another one of my videos, well, I've got a great one for you right here. And a huge thank you to these wonderful people here who support me on Patreon and with YouTube memberships. They get behind the scenes information, special perks, and more. If you'd like to know more about that, well, make sure you check that button right there. Thank you so much.